In this segment, we're going to discuss the pros and cons of using a camcorder for your video. One of the first things that you'll notice about a camcorder when you go to the store to purchase it is that it says things like 40 times optical zoom. That means you can see far, 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 far away with this thing. And that's one of the good things about a camcorder such as this one, is that they come with great optical zooms. You can be in the back of the auditorium and you want to get your child playing in a little skit. Well, you can just zoom in there and you'll be right there in little Johnny's face. He'll be seeing, you'll get every moment of it. One of the weaknesses of using a camcorder for your video needs is that it lacks manual controls. So if it's very dark in a setting, the camera is going to automatically try to compensate for this dark setting by boosting the available light, and this will result in having a lot of noise and a lot of grains inside of your video, and the image quality, it doesn't look so good. My biggest critique of videos that I've seen that were shot with camcorders is that they weren't lit well enough. So it's very unfortunate that they lack manual controls, because if you had manual controls on a camcorder, it would allow your blacks to look black, your shadows to be shadows. But when you're using a camcorder, if you're shooting something in a dark area, or even if you desire your film or your video to have somebody like lurking in the shadows, the camcorder will automatically compensate for the low light and use its automatic controls to boost the available light, and that will give you a grainy feel, and it will really distract from the mood that you're trying to achieve. Another thing to consider when using a camcorder is that it also lacks manual focus. So everything is in focus whenever you use a camcorder. So when you're taking your shot, if you're going to want to draw an audience member's attention to a specific person or a specific object, it's really going to be important that you get your framing down just right. Because in other situations, if you have a camcorder or a video camera with manual focus, you can use the focusing of the lens to direct your audience's attention to what you want them to look at. Another thing to consider when using a camcorder is that camcorders generally use omnidirectional microphones that are inside the camera. So the sound that it captures, it's designed to capture everything around it. So if you're giving an interview, or if you're in a crowded area and you're trying to hear somebody's words or capture a specific sound, well, the camera microphone is not really going to be ideal for you. You're going to get all sorts of background noise, you'll get room hiss, because what it's going to do is it's automatically going to adjust its sensitivity based on the lowest noise. So if it's a very quiet room, you're going to get a lot of room noise, because it's going to bump up the automatic gain control, and it's not going to be ideal for your video. Now, the other option is plugging in an external microphone, but again, most camcorders do not have a jack or an XLR input for you to access those kind of sound controls. There are also camcorders such as this one. This is called a Sony Bloggy. And it's kind of like a flip cam in that, you have a single focal length, it shoots HD video, and that's about it. If you're in the market for a new camera for capturing video, I don't recommend purchasing a camcorder that you would normally see a mom or a grandfather or an uncle capturing for family events. I don't recommend them. However, if you have to use it because that is what you own, it can work, and we can make it work, and I can show you how to get the best quality out of it. However, you're really going to need to pay attention to lighting, and we have an entire series on lighting. Also sound, we have an entire series on sound. The one thing that you have in your favor, they have built-in stabilization, which is generally better than what you'll find in a DSLR or in some other, handheld device, such as a Sony Bloggy or a flip camera. Please subscribe, because we've got a ton of great content that will help you get the most out of your camcorder, and we also have contests that you'll be able to enter to win other camera equipment.